Well, friends, I don't know about you, but I'm looking forward to in-person worship. It's been a long time. It's not too long since we've been apart from one another, but it's been a long time since we've been together. And what I wanted to do today is to give you an introduction to how we're going to do it, and then some encouragement about what we're going to do. The first thing is we're going to remember this, no matter where we are. This is from Isaiah chapter 40, verse 8. The grass withers and the flowers fade, but the word of the Lord stands forever. And you know, whether or not you're here in-person worship, or you're worshiping at home with a cup of coffee and your feet up on the couch, no matter where you are, the word of the Lord still works, and it'll still work for you. And that's what I want to talk with you today about. In just a moment, we'll show you about what it's going to be like coming in. But I really wanted to talk with you today about whether or not it's okay for you to come. You know, you have to make that decision. Now, we only have so many places where we can have people seated in the church. We're limited to 100 folks at this time. A little bit later on, maybe 1/4 of our ability to seat people. But right now, we're limited to 100 people. And we're going to have 3 services. Saturday at 5 o'clock, that acoustic praise service. Sunday at 9 o'clock. Remember, it's 9 o'clock, not 9:30, and that will be our traditional service. And then Sunday at 11 o'clock will be our contemporary service with the full band. And because we're going to be careful, and because we're going to love one another, and because we're all going to wear masks as long as we are in this building, because of all that, we're going to be able to worship and pray and sing. Now, if you are a person who's over a certain age, and I'm not going to give you an idea, I'll give you an idea, some might over retirement age, but if you're a person who has an age issue, or if you're a person who has got a health issue, or you're a person who's really concerned about how this is going to work and whether it's going to be safe, and you want to see how it works for a couple of weeks, it's okay. Let's not rush back to worship, and let's not rush into anything where someone might feel uncomfortable or anxious. We're going to be continuing to provide communion for everybody. There's, next month in August, we're going to be doing communion services again, and we'll have an opportunity for everyone to commune. But for right now, for this time, let's be very careful. And if you don't, if your doctor would say you shouldn't be here, don't feel guilty. The Lord will be praised with you watching online. The Lord will be praised as you hear His word. The Lord will be praised as you sing along, because our worship services are going to be live streamed also. So you'll be able to join in from home in exactly the same worship service that people are receiving here in the church sanctuary. But we just want everybody to be safe. And we want everybody to have no anxiety, no anxious hearts. And we want everybody to feel free to stay home, free to engage here at church, or free to just go out into the parking lot and listen to 87.9 FM, and you'll be able to hear the worship service in the parking lot. If you don't want to come in but just want to come to church, you're going to be able to do that from the parking lot too. The one thing that we're requiring, just like for our school, we require masks. And if something happens and you forgot yours or you lost yours, we're going to have masks here and available for you. So with that, let me give you an idea of what it's going to be like coming in. Well, friends, when we come for worship, there's going to be things that are exactly the same as always, and there's going to be some things that are quite different. Here's one thing that's going to be exactly the same. You're going to be able to park wherever you want to park, but only in the large parking lot on the east side of the church and the north side of the church. The only entrance that you'll be able to come into for worship is this entrance right here, right under the overhang. Now, when you come, as soon as you get out of your car, you need to put your mask on. And if somehow you don't have a mask with you, we've got an answer for that too. One of the ways that you'll know that it's ready and we're ready for you to come in for worship is you'll see the doors will be open and there will be someone out here inviting you all in. So until that time, just stay in your car. Let's see what happens next. So friends, I'm going to take off my mask just for this video, but you have to remember that anytime you're inside this building, you're going to be wearing your mask all the way through worship until you're back in your car. Now, when you come through these doors, there will be someone here to greet you, and they're going to ask you some questions. They're going to ask you the general COVID questions. Do you have any of these symptoms? Have you been out of the country? Have you been running a fever or anything else? There's those standard questions that we go through every time we go to a doctor's office or a hospital or any place like that where they're providing special care for us. Now, if you don't have a mask or you've forgotten it, we will have plenty of masks, disposable masks, one-use masks that'll be available for you. But while we're at worship, everybody wears a mask. And why do we do it? We do it for love's sake. So when you come into the lobby area, you'll be greeted with these signs, one every 6 feet. And we're going to ask that you keep your distance from other people, even though you may know them and want to say hi. We want you to keep your distance from one another for love's sake, to keep everyone as safe as we possibly can. Your next stop is right here at this station, a hand sanitizer station, and we'll have others around. But this is where also you'll be greeted with someone else, another helper, who's going to take your temperature using this or another instrument. We want to make sure everybody is safe to come in and that you can be assured that everybody has had their temperature taken prior to coming in for worship. Once an elder or an usher is ready to take you down, you can step on into the kind of anteroom here, I guess, right underneath the balcony, and put your offering to the Lord Jesus Christ into this container. It will be collected at the end of the service and brought over to the counters. You're also going to be able to use, of course, your online giving or your text to give, just like you do when you're at home. Now, friends, when you're ushered up forward, there's certain assigned seating that we're going to have when we're in the worship area. It's rows A, B, C, A, B, C. A row will be for Saturday night. B row will be for 9 o'clock on Sunday morning. C row will be for 11 o'clock on Sunday morning. That's how we're doing it this week. And so you can't sit wherever you want to. There are certain assigned areas. There's also a rope going in between the pews to keep people from one side from getting over to the other. Now, we're going to ask that you come in and you're ushered in. And then also, after worship, we're going to ask that you be ushered out so that we're not all moving into the aisle at the same time. We're just going to sit patiently, kind of like at a wedding, and wait for the people that are behind us to leave before we're ready to go back to our worship, or back to our cars after worship. Now, during the worship service, of course, you keep your mask on the whole time. And by keeping us 10 feet away from one another by keeping our masks on, we're going to be able to do the Lord's Prayer, do a common confession and absolution, do the Apostles' Creed, and we're going to be able to sing. Now, I want to encourage you, don't sing the loudest that you can, because we want to keep the movement of any germs, keep them at the mask level. That's why we're all wearing them. And we're wearing them again just so that we can praise God, but also that we can love our neighbor. And so I just encourage you, as you're thinking about this week and whether you're going to participate or not, that you consider your needs, your health needs, and also the needs of your neighbor. If you have been in any way, if you're not feeling well at all, it's okay not to come. We don't want anyone to put anyone else in danger. And guess what happens the following week? We've got another worship service ready for you. So that's giving you a bit of a preview. Of course, there's going to be some differences when we put this into action, and we may change a little bit from week to week. But basically what we'd like you to do is come out of your car with your mask on. You'll come to the front doors in the large parking lot here at church. Can't park anyplace else because we're not going to have any other parking lots open. You'll be asked the COVID questions. You'll come in 6 feet apart from one another, have your temperature taken, go to a sanitation station, wait to be seated. You'll come in and bring your offering, and then come in and you can be seated in the pew that you're assigned to, and then on the way out, we're going to be escorted out and keep everybody safe because we want to be able to worship. We want to be able to worship our God freely, and we want to be able to love our neighbor as ourselves. So friends, we'll see you this week or another week.